What do I think about the new Fable trailer? Would I be looking into it when it launches? Probably, if for only nostalgia's sake. Despite the many foibles of Molyneux, not a perfect person. No one is. I think he has a bit of a problem with overpromising, but not in a malicious way. I've never gotten the impression that as a designer, he was ever intentionally trying to missell something. He just had big dreams. So, I have long remained a staunch Lionsgate fan. Many of the games that came out of them, Fable, Black and White. I think later iterations were dialed back, and possibly because earlier iterations were massive in scope and what was promised of them, to such a degree that it was difficult to meet the reality. I fully intend to check out the new Fable, but I am doing it because of nostalgia, and I am kind of prepared for it not to meet my expectations. And again, that isn't because I don't think Molyneux does a good job, or the kind of template that's there is not going to be followed. Because what I'm trying to say is that I guess I've kind of gotten used to disappointment to a certain degree, and I didn't want that to sting as much as it would sound like initially, because there's a different company making the game. So even though I'm going into it with nostalgia, I guess I'm not looking for it to be as good as the original Fable, because I kind of got used to the sequels not being as good, but I still enjoyed them. I still looked forward to them. But I didn't want to just straight up say, yeah, because, I'm used to disappointment because of Peter Molyneux, because that does sound really, really mean. And it's not coming from a place of meanness. It's coming from a place of, yeah, he had ridiculous faith in what he could do, and massively overpromised, often, but not because he was a bad person. Does that make sense? Because I think a lot of people rail on Peter Molyneux specifically, and the Lionsgate is a larger whole, but I don't think it's necessarily deserved to the scale that people often say that. Mangapop. The thing about Molyneux is, sometimes he hyped up games so much that amazing games were seen as meh because people were expecting literally the greatest game of all time. Yes, that is such a good way of putting it, Bentham. That is such a good way of putting it. Many of the games that came out of Lionsgate were genre-defining. They were works of art in the very realist sense of of that phrase. But they could never possibly be what people were expecting. It's a strange place to end up, but yeah. Oh dear, they're going to replace those pipes while there's petroleum moving through it. That is terrible. Disable this building, please. No, don't deconstruct it. Disable it. That's a massive priority. Thank you. Once that pipe has been replaced, then you can go back to doing that. Actually, no, I do want these to be 8s. Now, there we are. Enable the building again. I'll sweep up the floor. There we are. Perfect. There's plenty of energy here. These batteries being drained is just that we're using that much power. Which is fine. I played Black and White, having never heard of it before, and it blew my mind. But apparently, a lot of people were disappointed by it because they were expecting something that even today wouldn't be possible. I played Black and White with a level of expectation that was probably set by creatures. Of grand amounts of simulation, of something that was so complex that you learnt by playing it. To which end, my expectations were handedly met by Black and White. I played Black and White 2 expecting Black and White 1, but more. I would have accepted Black and White 1, but prettier. I got Black and White 1, prettier but dumber. And that broke my heart a little bit. Of all of the things that were done by that were made as a consequence of a game not quite being up to par, I would probably say my soul forgives Black and White 2 the least of all of the sequels. It is still, by comparison to most other games that even try to walk in the same park as Black and White 2, superior. It is superior to every other type of game that is trying to do something even close to what Black and White 2 was trying to do. It is inferior to Black and White 1, and only to Black and White 1. But it is inferior in the most important way possible, and that was the creature's AI. And that stung my soul. Nevertheless, they tried to do something amazing. And I definitely can recognize a certain level of, we were told to do this, by our publisher. We had no option. We had to make the game more accessible. And that sucks, but it's life, There's nothing wrong with aiming for the stars, but if you consistently fail to leave the launch pad, then something needs fixing. You can't heap all the blame on PM. The press are certainly complicit, as are gamers to some degree. Yeah, I agree with that. Uncle Paul, I never played 2. From what I gather, it lent heavily towards an RTS. I can totally see how people who didn't understand Black and White's appeal, even as they themselves played it, drove them in that direction. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Bentham, definitely agree with that. Right. Okay, so some plastic was moved around. That's pretty cool. Right, okay, time to continue the build of this then. Let's build it in sections, though. Actually, no, we can keep going. We'll keep going as far as that. We'll build all of that in one go. Understand, I played creatures for artificial life. I played Black and White for artificial intelligence. Such that it was. Creatures stands alone. Not just ahead, it stands alone. In that regard. No other game has ever really tried to do what Creatures was doing. Which is a bit of a shame. Because it was quite interesting, but I understand that I belong to such an enormously small niche when it comes to those sorts of games. I actually loved both Black and Whites, despite its quirks. But back then, I didn't know any better. Oh. There's nothing wrong with loving Black and White. Not even slightly. Right, how much do robo-miners consume? 120. Wow. Could we run it on this? We could. This is truly the greatest of days. Why is there... why is a bunch of regolith being brought up here? Oh. They've hatched. Yay, I guess. Look at the tiny little buggers. Got such stubby little noses. Such hard keratin spirals all along their body. Vole pups, they should also be here. Oh, okay, then I guess it's time for me to start pumping up some CO2. This is going to be a fun little trip. Oh, stop there. And then continue. Oh, my lord. It sounds so good. I will gather up a bunch of it from down here then, I think. Or maybe over here. Well, there's probably more CO2 production over here than elsewhere. Yeah. This is going to take a long while to build. Also, no more do I want it vented. Disconnect. All of that. Actually, don't do that until this is built. Once that is built, you can. Let's, as a result, put this on an 8. I mean, if I make it out of this, then it's going to be able to resist redonkulous temperatures, so... Sure, let's pop it in there. Stop living in your poop! Oh my lord. Oh, on the topic of things climbing in their poop. It wasn't as bad as literally climbing in its poop, but it does remind me of something so sad that I saw today. We introduced all of the the shuffles, the ferrets together. It's been a while because they've been in various stages of heat or rut, but they're now ready to all live together again. So here's an Athena and the 3 kills, all in the same place. Problem is, after coming out of heat, the girls will go into kind of a nasty stage. They're preparing for if they are pregnant. So they're constantly making nests, and they're constantly being a bit bossy around the others and trying to make sure that they're always in the nest so that they can help with the kits. Poor Ares. 4 girls, all trying to drag him around, and he squeaks so loud. And we're like, oh my god, what's going on? Go down there. It's just Ares being dragged around by Siri, who can't move him. So she's just pulling on his skin. Came down a little bit ago. And I peeked in and I saw the girls all kind of huddled in their hammocks. We put loads of hammocks in there now because, you know, there are plenty of places, comfy places for them to sleep. And in big nest. And Ares, down on the lower level, just lying in his clean litter tray. Which is why I say it reminded me, but it wasn't quite as bad as, you know, digging around in your poop. It was like the only place he could escape to. He was just waiting there. Just lying down. It's like, oh, bless him. Ah. Yeah, this broke because it got too hot. A shame, but the reality of it. Could you perhaps... Yeah, that's going to keep happening, so I'm going to disable auto repair for now. I need all of this built up. Right, we want power, basically. Yeah. Oh, they're not going to have enough copper. Yeah, not. Then we need to gather some copper. That oxide is never going to vent because there's just no point to it. So much for me to taking breaks and learning to take breaks. It's been so long since I've streamed, I forgot how. I should have been taking a break every hour to make the inevitable editing much easier for me, but alas. What did I make that out of? Aluminium ore. Deconstruct. I'll make it back out of... you know what? Maybe deconstruct this too. Let's make this an 8, though. Alright, critter drop-off point. I'm gonna make you out of steel, so you can survive stupidly high temperatures for a bit. And then we want the stations made out of the same stuff. Again, I've just got so much, there's no point in me skimping. Now, what should happen is the CO2 is going to enter, and it will be venting out here. That should be the case. Power. Using copper. There we go. And that should also be fairly high priority. Why are you there? Get out. Thank you. It's not where you live. Silly shovel pup. I should use that stream deck toggle I set up to stop the recording. I know I should. I know, I've been sat here looking at it like, oh, it's too late now. Okay, like an umpty. You know what? In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to go on a break. Because I haven't streamed it so long, I feel like streaming forever. That will eventually run out. Eventually. Probably much later than most people would expect, but it will eventually run out. And then I'll wrap the stream up. But I may as well go on a break in like 10 minutes. Perfect. Deconstruct. Deconstruct this one as well, please. I can go back to a 5. Also, please shoot this. And this. There we go. Vol pups should vol. And pup. The CO2, bearing in mind, the CO2 is coming in here at like 59 odd degrees. I don't actually think... Well, see, the problem with this is only going to work for as long as there is CO2 to deliver. As long as these are working, there'll be CO2 to pump. But when they stop, the CO2 stops too. Which is not as good. But it is actually backing up. And because there's so little CO2 entering, it's adjusting the temperatures down, or should be. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, it's slowly going down. The robo-miner is probably being activated here and there. You know what, I'm going to increase this a little bit to 200 grams. So there's a bit more thermal capacity in the gas. CO2 is a terrible gas to be doing this with because it's got such a low thermal capacity anyway. But we'll roll with it for now. Right, I want a gas pump. And for it to survive in this temperature, I may as well make it out of steel as well. And then I pretty much want power. Can I use this power? Yes, I can. Glorious. Works quite well. Well, the issue here is that I'm not getting enough people trying to work these things. Who's got an errand to do this? James. Okay. Are we starting to stockpile? We are. I approve. Now then, this is such a mess. Oh my god, why? How the heck am I going to get this out of here? Like, legitly. How the heck? Okay, we're going to do something crazy. First and foremost, well... Why isn't that running? Oh, because that's filling up. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking I might just remove this at this point. And start switching over to this. But the problem is that's gonna, no, we can't switch over to that yet. It's going to start producing steam in here. I don't want it to. It's going to take so long to pull all this CO2 out. God. It is going to take so long. I'm exceptionally tempted to add a second one in. Indeed, I think I shall. That should get a bit more of this out. That'll help a little bit. Will this ever get deleted? Why can't you get there? Why is that unreachable? It'll be probably something like that. Oh, why am I such a derp? Of course, it's that. Well, Aavak, it's been grand, but it's time for me to go. I'm going to start a colony on Arborea. Oh, nice. Let me know how that goes. No, Aavak, bad. No, making up for lost time. That's not how breaks work. You see, you say this, and I have to confess, what you say makes sense. At the same time, I know that it doesn't matter. But there's a part of me that's like, eh. I mean, eh. And that's sad. It hurts to be this dumb. Truly. Could I put a follow cam on one of the jeeps during the break? Yes, I can. I can indeed. We'll need some peeps to vote on who shall be the one followed. We're running both. Oh, we're running both of them. That's so good. I approve. Full packets of petroleum being made. Oil level going down. Oh wow, that is consuming all of it all at once. That is. Was not expecting it to be that good at drinking the petroleum. Well. Poop. Then I fear I shall have to make a second one. Alright, deconstruct this, deconstruct that. I'm gonna have 2 pumps. One there. Oh no, is that gonna put us over the power requirements? Yeah, it is. Haha. However, this one's barely being used. So, deconstructing this, running the power down, then down there eventually. We are also going to have pipes going up and then bridging across. And this one is going to be controlled by, well... Honestly, for this to be true, it'd have to be true for this, because the oil is leaking down here. So if it's above the required level over here, then this means that one is also satisfied. Let's do this quickly, because I'm about to go on break that I should have taken a long time. Thank you, though, everyone. I actually do really appreciate the people taking better care of me than I'm taking care of me. It's silly, I know. Can I follow a packet of liquid? I wish. I'd just basically follow one of the packets in the cooling loop. Hooray! We're off on an adventure. Ooh. Yes, I accept. Don't tell me we're killing lava eggs. No, good. I would appreciate something to allow me to drop off critter eggs right about here. Make that a 9. It would be amazing if I could follow single packets of oh, damn it, I still can't reach it, can I? No, it's awaiting delivery. Make that a 9. Get that done as quickly as we can. Oh, you're in a happy mood. I'm very happy to see it. Okay, starting to make some progress in here now. Starting to drop. It's going to take us a while, but it'll eventually get there. And here we go. We're now delivering more and more CO2 up there. Excellent. Let's have a look. How cool is this area? I mean, it's reasonably okay. Build the second one. Punk. And this is technically big enough. I want the voles to be taken good care of, please. Sweep that. Sweep that. Oh, we need to start getting out there and finding regolith now, though. Oh, wow. Flare Night. When you drink that which is better than tea, that of the alcoholic variety. Yes, it's been a while. Thank you so much for that tip. That was really, really kind of you. Alright, that's an 8. Let's make this one an 8 as well. I want the vole pups taken care of. They are snoozing. Oh, they're sleeping. They've attached to a surface to sleep. That is so cute. That is hopelessly cute. But now, it is time, I fear, for us to start gathering the regolith. The lith of rag. Which way do we want to go in? I think we want to probably... Well... I don't want to do it close by, but yeah, we'll just add a little ladder, and I'll just accept that I'm going to be repairing that constantly. I'll allow my dupes to get up there and grab things. Is this one set up? No, good. It's turned off. Good, good, good. This one is going to be dormant in 41 cycles. For now, we're stockpiling our petroleum as a result. Very hopeful that this is going to very soon be at a point where this will start working. Right, this one hasn't got power. Make sure it's all hooked up properly. Yes, it is. Alright. I think we should be able to leave our dupes to take care of the rest, honestly. And at this stage, I'm going to say that we could probably safely hook that up as well. As soon as that gets built, and more petroleum is going to start flowing into the system. This place is starting to get nice and Nice and empty. I'm liking it. Liking it a lot. Honestly, as soon as this is done, we can just turn on the polymer presses to ensure that there's steam in the system. Because the steam, any steam, like, will spread out to just very, very trace amounts across the whole room. And at that point, an aqua tuner will be able to run. We can use the aqua tuner to cool down some petroleum that can be used in the that can be used for running smelters. I think that might actually work quite well. Can have the aqua tuner down here, a deposit of clean water. Oof, might be really good. I was going to say something about how our human concept of time is meaningless to a dragon such as Aavak. Aavak, selects the storage box. Thank you very much for reminding me, yes. Drags, all of them. Priority 1. Take them there. Yep. Someone should be along to move them shortly. There we go. Yoink. That's been nice and vacuumed. Let's have a look at the temperature. Temperature outside, not great. Temperature inside, not too bad. It's a bit warm over here, mind you. It'll be good when we've got the proper system set up, but it's going to take us a bit of time. Water over here is getting much too warm. Is that releasing the right signal yet? Red signal when reservoir is 75% full until it is less than 50% full. Okay. Why is that displaying it though? The bin is not... Oh no, there we go. I thought the bin was sending the green signal, but of course. This is one of the tricky things, is they don't have terminuses. So this wasn't a single line and this was a second line. This was one single line and green takes priority. Which was the problem there. Okay, we've now got both of them working the petroleum. We're sending a goodly amount across. That is fantastic. And soon we're going to have so much petroleum that we can't store anymore. We are running through our oil a little bit faster than I'd like, though. Wow, okay, that's kind of crazy. What is at the top here? Wow, really? Okay, below. Just pump everything out of here, please. Because that polluted oxygen is going higher than everything else. And that's caused us so much trouble. Look at all the natural gas that has escaped out of here because of that stupid polluted oxygen. There we go. Now. Oh, my lord. There we are. Fixed. I can't believe that was going on. I was wondering why this was having so much trouble keeping the natural gas in one place. Now I know. Okay. The polluted oxygen is fine. It'll be vented up here. That hasn't been hooked up to power yet, though. No, it has. Huh. Is it really insufficient power? No, I think it's not turning on because it doesn't have an outlet, so it's not trying to store any power yet. Yeah, I'm going on break now. I'm going on break. I know, I'm terrible. Alright, so this place is going to empty it out completely while I'm away. And when we get back, we're going to move our smelters in here. We're not going to kickstart them yet. I'm going to allow petroleum to feed in. I'm probably going to use petroleum for the coolant line of my smelters. I think that makes a lot of sense. We'll see how that goes. I'll have to set up a little bit of a loop down here to make sure it's cool enough before it sends it back up. But otherwise, we'll probably run... Well, I might have 3 smelters all dedicated to production of stuff. And then an aqua tuna down here. Maybe, yeah, probably just one. We're going to have a nice little dribble of water in here for that aqua tuna to run on. Just to make sure that it does produce steam. Okay, well, I'm going to go on a break now then, folks. I'm going to go on a break for a couple of minutes. Let's slow down the game. Now, who do you want to follow? Let me know, chat. You vote for Pip. That might Belial. Wow. Gol, no, that's harsh. That's super harsh. Big Owl. Okay, let's grab Big Owl then. Pop. Let's follow you around, Big Owl. Hopefully you can do some interesting things. Also, hello, page twos. Right, there we are. Now then, I'll zoom out a little bit so you've got a bit of a better view.